was fortunate enough to have a phone interview with actor Jovan Armand, who plays Pedro Pena in the upcoming Shazam feature film, which opens nationwide April 5th. And there's also some preview screenings that you can still get tickets for if they aren't sold out March 23rd, this coming weekend. He's an actor and also a musician, and we're going to talk about his role in the movie, his experience, and his music. And I'll put links to like YouTube videos showing off his stuff and about him below in the description of the video. But now, let's get into the interview.
It's John.
Hey, thank you so much for speaking with me today. This is awesome. So nice to hear from you.
Of course, yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Cool, yeah. I was reading stuff about you. I watched your video forum on YouTube a little while ago. That was a really good song and some other ones. I think I watched Peru, that video too. Some good stuff on there.
Oh, wow. Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
So what I'm going to do is Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry?
Oh, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk to you about the movie and your music and all that awesome stuff and all the cool stuff you got going on. So I imagine you're probably really excited about now because, you know, the movie, you're in Shazam, that's about to come out and it's getting some good, like, buzz. Like, a lot of the early reviews and reactions are very positive. How do you feel about that? That must be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just happy that, you know, the people that have seen it are saying good things about it because, I mean, I may be a little biased, but I think the movie is pretty awesome.
So tell me about your character, Pedro Pena. I know he's in the comics too. I read the comics, the Shazam comics. I read the New 52 when they first debuted, you know, this version of the Shazam characters, and I'm reading the current series now. And I was just curious how what's your character like on the screen? What's kind of vibe? I know it said, I read that he is very protective of the other foster kids and things like that. But, you know, I'm sure, you know, there's going to be a lot more in it than that. So what can you tell us about Pedro?
Well, my character, Pedro Pena, is one of the foster kids at the Vasquez group home that Billy Batson becomes a part of in the film. And, I mean, my character, Pedro, is very shy and keeps to himself, like you said, but he's also very protective of his foster family and would not hesitate to stand up for them. I feel that is when you really see him shine later on in the film is, you know, when he kind of breaks out of his shell due to certain circumstances.
Okay. And how would you describe Shazam to, like, you know, if you were to sell it, to get us on? I'm going to see it. I can't wait to see it. But, you know, how would you describe Shazam? Because I've heard that, you know, it's fun and lighthearted, but I've heard from someone else that it's actually a lot darker than a lot of people are expecting. So, you know, what can people expect to see from Shazam? Like, what kind of vibe is it going to give us?
Well, this movie is a fun, action-packed comedy, and it's really an origin story for Shazam. It draws a lot of, you know, inspiration from the Shazam New 52 comic book, which you said you have read. It's very comedy. It has a lot of heart, and I just think that it's a roller coaster, man, and you got to sit down in that theater seat and get ready for it.
So do you get any cool powers? I know in the comics, you know, Pedro and the other foster kids, there's a part in the storyline where they get cool powers too, like, you know, Billy does. So is that something we can get excited for when we see the movie?
I definitely know that is an option in the New 52 thing that happened. But as far as the movie, man, you just gotta go watch it, and we'll see what happens. There's some exciting stuff though. It's honestly a roller coaster, man.
Okay. So this is a great project to be a part of. I know you've done a lot of TV and a lot of movie shorts, and now you're in like a huge, you know, feature film movie. So what do you hope this is like a stepping stone for? Like, what do you kind of aspire to? Like, you're in Shazam, you know, it's probably going to be like the #1 movie when it comes out, opening weekend. It's going to be like great hype, great buzz. Where do you hope to go from there?
Well, I hope to continue to do my music. I mean, like I think you said you listen to Foreign, right? I just released my new single, Foreign, along with the video. That's out on my YouTube. You guys can go check that out. And then just working on new music with the Baker Boys. And I also have a concert April 24th at the Globe Theater. All the information for all that you can check out on my website, jovanarmand.com. And yeah, I mean, I'm just auditioning here and there. I got a couple writers talking to me about some scripts, and we'll see what happens. See what's the next project.
Okay. How would you describe your musical style? You know, if you were to encapsulate your music, like...
would say that my music, all in all, is just a positive vibe. You know, with clean lyrics, and it's kind of like a niche between kids bop and modern rap, where it has the clean lyrics from kids bop, and it has the style and sort of swag of the modern rap. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that in between, where you don't have to deal with all the negative things that a lot of the modern rappers are putting out, and you can still have a good time. It's something that, you know, parents and kids and teenagers can listen to and not feel kind of, you know, like they're sitting at the dinner table, you know?
So what attracted you to this role of Pedro? You know, what is it about this character that stood out to you, and being a part of a movie like this?
Well, when I went in for the audition, there was not really much to go on. It just said pretty much Hispanic character who was shy, overweight, asthmatic, and kept to himself. But I figured, you know, maybe there's more to this kid. Maybe there's a whole other story. So I did my research. I saw a couple of the comic books, and, you know, I was really excited about the project and all, because I actually played Shazam a lot in Injustice 1, the video game. Not sure if you're familiar with that.
Yeah, I am.
But yeah, he was one of my favorite characters.
So what was it like to work with the other, you know, actors in it, like the other people playing the foster kids, the other people in Billy's home? What was that experience like?
Oh, dude, it was a blast. I mean, everyone was so nice. I think, you know, with these kind of films, you're not really you don't have to get along with your castmates. You can literally just go there, do your job, and leave. But, you know, it just happened so naturally. Everyone was super nice, and everyone got along. So we ended up doing field trips between shoot days to, like, Maple Farms, the CN Tower, Ripley's Aquarium, and it was just a blast. I mean, Jack Dylan Grace is hilarious. Even Zachary Levi, he's honestly, he's a child in a grown man's body. He's a perfect man for the role. And everybody else, you know, Faith, Grace, Asher, they're just Ian. Everyone's so nice and amazing, and we had a good time.
What was it like working with David F. Sandberg, the director? I know he's really talented. I saw some other movies that he's done, and, you know, now he's doing this. What was that experience like?
Yeah, well, it was awesome working with David Sandberg. He definitely did a great job bringing this story to life and staying true to the DC comic books. Yeah, and I think, you know, as long as you guys are excited about this film, I think it'll be great.
So what can you tell us, if anything? You know, if Shazam is a huge, huge success, I'm pretty sure that they're going to make a sequel, and there are plans for Shazam 2. And I would assume, since Pedro's, you know, an important character in the comics, that he'll be along for Shazam 2. So what, if anything, if they told you anything, or what can you tell us anything about a possible Shazam 2 and what your part in it may be?
Unfortunately, right now, I don't really know what the studio's plans are for the future, but I would definitely be interested in shooting at the next one.
So who's your favorite superhero?
I would have to say the Flash.
Oh, the Flash. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people say. I know that when they were doing Justice League, I think there was like an interview where they asked a bunch of different Justice Leaguers who their favorite superhero was, and a lot of them said the Flash, even though like most of them didn't play the Flash, which I thought was hilarious.
Oh, well. Yeah, I don't know. I've loved the Flash ever since the game. He was always my main guy when I was, you know, beating my friends. And also the TV show. I fell in love with that show as well. Grant Gustin is amazing in that show. And, you know, Jay Garrick, his suit's awesome. I like Godspeed as well. So, yeah, this is one of my favorite characters. Growing up, though, I was a really big fan of Superman. And I think my mom told me stories about when I was younger, like around 5 or 4, I would wear a Superman suit to bed, and I wouldn't take it off for, like, days, to the point where it was almost disgusting. So she had to, like, wash it when I was asleep and then put it back on me.
Okay. What was it like working with, I know there's also a villain in the movie, you know, Dr. Sivana. What can you tell us about him? You know, I'm sure Pedro and the other kids in Shazam, they're going to have to oppose him. So what can you tell us about the struggle that the characters are going to face?
Well, Mark Strong, honestly, he is an amazing actor, very, very professional and very like honed in on his craft. I remember one day I got off the set early, but she was filming a scene with the wizard, and I wanted to stay back and just watch, just to kind of see, you know, what he's got. And I remember just watching how intense he was in some of these scenes, and you know, the dedication and like all the key things you need to be a good actor and for it to look good on the TV screen or the cinema screen. So honestly, man, he's really talented, and it's awesome that he's a part of this film. I think everyone's gonna love it.
So what drew you to acting? I know you like to do music too. You're obviously a very creative person. That's why this kind of career appeals to you. But how did you get into it? What made you do this instead of being like an engineer or something?
Yeah, well, growing up, I always wanted to be on a TV show. I remember in my earlier days when I was like 4, I would always tell my mom, hey, look, I want to be on this show. I want to be on that show. And growing up, my inspiration was Feel Like the Zack and Cody on Disney Channel. Not sure if you're familiar with it, but growing up, I was just like, hey, I want to live their life. They're literally in a suite, just living it up on a TV show without a care in the world. And that's just something I always wanted. And my mom put me in modeling to try to scare me out of it, but ended up winning a bunch of trophies. And then she got egg in her face. So then I got into my first acting class when I was 8 years old, and it just went from there.
So I know you've done a lot of TV, and now, you know, you're moving to feature films. What differences are there, if any? Maybe there aren't any differences between doing like a TV show and doing a movie, or maybe they're the same thing.
Well, the sets are very different as far as like the atmosphere and the pacing, and obviously the shooting style as well. It's not single cam for a TV show. It's usually always multicam. But I would say, I mean, I love doing both, but movies are obviously a lot more dedication into it and a lot of process. With TV shows, it's like, you know, you get used to it, and it's kind of like this rhythm that you just kind of knock out. But yeah.
Do you feel that, because, you know, Shazam's a pretty high profile movie, do you feel like there's like more pressure on it? Like, do you feel like maybe, you know, since there's more pressure, maybe more scrutiny, more eyes on it, does that kind of get to you? Or like, how do you feel? You know, you probably have all this anticipation leading up to the premiere and the debut around the world. So, or are you just taking it in your stride?
Well, I know for a fact that there's a lot of fans out there that have been waiting for this movie for a while. And there's also some people that are skeptical. And I know there was a lot of different talks. Some people like this season, people don't. But I just have to say, man, the movie is awesome. It's very hilarious. There's so many different like tones in the film. I just think that it's a great experience, and everyone should just go watch it in theaters April 5th.
Okay. So how do you feel about being a part of, you know, you're like you're a superhero now, or a part of, you know, superhero history. How does that feel? I mean, do you feel like, you know, is it just oh, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, I mean, being in the DCEU now as Pedro Pena, it's amazing, man, you know. It's very surreal. I've gotten a lot of love from the DC community, so that's always awesome. I know, as far as casting, they did amazing because I look just like the comic book character.
Yeah, I've been reading that. And I know that there's a lot of stuff. That comic, the current one, is going to be like a great source material, because I know, you know, that comic has a lot of world building in it. Like, they're spinning off into different lands and different things like that. So there's a lot of, you know, for Shazam 2 and 3 or whatever, there would be like a lot of stuff for you to continue playing, like the whole cast. I think they're purposely building it out so that it can have very sprawling, long-lasting storylines for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what their plans are for the future, but honestly, it's very exciting, and I'm just happy to be a part of this film.
So what advice would you give to I mean, you know, you're a younger actor. What advice would you give to other people in your age range? Or maybe, well, this could probably be applicable to people who are older too, you know, just about being a part of something like this. I imagine that it could be, you have a lot of experience though, because you've been acting for a long time, but, you know, making the leap to, you know, a major, you know, feature film and also part of a franchise, that's a huge leap. What advice would you give to other people, like yourself, who maybe are kind of like, whoa, this is a big deal, can I handle this, or that sort of thing?
Well, I would just say, just keep a calm mind, be relaxed, and pay attention to what your team says. I have a long list of team members that are letting me know the right things to do here and there, left and right, which is amazing, and that's good to have. That way you don't mess up.
All right, so where can people, you talked a little bit about this before, but maybe, you can reiterate or add some more stuff. So where can people see you next, or currently on TV, or to listen to you? Where can they see the next work from you?
Yeah, okay. Well, I just released my new single, Thorin, along with a video. It's on my YouTube. I'm also working on a new song with the Baker Boys, and I'm going to be headlining a concert on April 24th in LA at the Globe Theater. Oh. Also, my first tour with my EP, Big Seek, that I released last year, is under development. So more info on that is coming soon, but you guys can go ahead and check out my website for updates and links to my music at jovanarmand.com. That's JOVANARMAND. And then my Twitter and Instagram is just Jovan Armand, and for Instagram it's Jovan Armand Official.
Okay. And I think for my final question that I have for you, I know that the big thing about Shazam is that Billy says a magic word and he gets hit by lightning and turning into Shazam. So if there was a magic word that described Jovan Armand, what would it be? What would people say to be hit by lightning and have your kind of energy?
My kind of energy? Well, I would have to go with the rap ad-lib, man. It would have to be, yeah.
All right.
Right? It's perfect.
All right. Anything you want to add that you felt we didn't cover, you wanted to include? We can definitely keep going.
If you feel like you got everything, man, I'm good with this. It's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited. I got my tickets already for the preview advanced screening this weekend, March 23rd, and I can't wait. Of course, you already know everything we're going to see, right?
Right. Yeah, I actually got to see an advanced screening a couple of days ago, so yeah, it was amazing. I definitely think people are going to love this movie.
Where were you at when you saw the screening? Were you with friends, family? Was it by yourself? How do the actors see the advanced screening? How does that process work?
Well, it was on one of the lots, and it was just with managers and some of the cast members.
Oh, and how long ago was that?
I think last week. I'm not sure which date exactly.
Awesome. Yeah, that must have been a nice time. Too bad the rest of us couldn't be there, but I guess we get to see it soon enough, right?
Right, yeah. April 5th is just around the corner. And then I think there's also some advanced screenings you guys can check out on Fandango.
Yeah, I'm actually going to that this weekend.
Nice.
Yep, so I can't wait.
Well, thank you for putting me on, man. I mean, this was amazing. Thank you.
Shazam opens almost everywhere April 5th. And as mentioned before, there are some special preview screenings going on March 23rd this coming weekend. And go online and see if you can still get your tickets. I think I'll put a link to that below too. And thank you for watching my interview with Jovan Armand, who plays Pedro Pena. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel because I appreciate your viewership. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.